Oh, that is definitely not the right view. Hey everybody. Uh what am I doing wrong? Something went weird when I switched over. This shouldn't be on. Oh no. So this is my video output. It should just be doing. Where's program view? There we go. Okay, that got bumped. Hi everyone. Welcome to another Binary Ninja live stream. Sorry about the overview there. Let's see. What do we got today? Today is a suspenseful day. It's a good day of build up. We've got all sorts of fun things happening. If you can hear the ruckus from out there, I apologize. They're playing some xiangqi, like Chinese chess. Shusheng, who's been on stream before, you all might be aware of, his a coworker of ours who is Chinese and plays Chinese chess like really competitively. Like he's actively like ranked in the rankings. And so we were, yeah, exactly. A little secret view there, Shulkermancer. Welcome. And so we back here in Florida, we got a Chinese chess set at the office, and we're trying to learn how to play because there's some weird stuff like cannons have to like it's complicated. It's like just enough like chess. You're like, oh, this is like chess. No, it's actually very much not like that. It's a little oh no, does that work? Okay, that one works. I can turn that on at least. Stream elements on. There we go. We can turn stream elements on. Yeah, thanks, Galen. Yeah, exactly. I think he's a grand master. Hey, Ryan, welcome. I made some notes. We got some good stuff this stream. I don't know if, yeah, I haven't decided if I'm gonna do all this stuff yet. We'll see. And let me actually I'm gonna bring up the chat over here where it'll be easier to see. So, okay. Let's see. We've got Binjy dev, cannons. Oh, yeah, the river is like interesting because units change their mode when you cross the to the enemy's territory. Some of them can't, and there's like a castle terrain or palace, some other stuff. But it's fun. It's fun watching people who like have literally never played. They're just trying to figure it out and play together. Very, very beginner stuff. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, you know, actually, first things first. Let's make some. Let's pull up a web browser because we got to talk a couple of things. One is. All right, good. Just checking sure we got notes from the office. I was asking Peter a question. So, where did my browser go? Come on, try again. So we've got a couple of things in the news. So one thing I wanted to bring up, let's close down all this stuff, is actually I think I might have retweeted it from here. Nope. Let's see, did I tweet it? Oh yeah, there we go. There's one of them. So one of the things that I wanna talk about is how many people we got in the stream here. Where's the stream numbers? We have Team Binjy. This is very important. We'd love to have feedback from people on naming. So as a reminder, this is Binjy. He's the main member of. Am I that bad at dates? Sorry, I'm just bad at dates. I don't know, Peter, if you're watching, but yes, thank you. I was talking about Friday. This is Binjy. He's the main mascot. You may have seen him a couple places. Like he'll show up on Binary Ninja Cloud if you do like a 404 page, which I've done before just to bring him up. So like that's Binjy. He's great, and but he's got a whole team, and we've been tweeting more images. Like you can see, this is a good one here. So this is actually the newest member of the team. This is Sifu, which is also like Shifu, like master in Chinese. So he's great. But then the other team members, they don't all have names. Fido, of course, has a name. And just to be clear, Phi is, or Phi, depending on how you want to call it. If we pull up SSA forms, I usually do MLIL SSA. This is a Phi or a Phi, right? So it joins on SSA forms. And so Fido is pretty good, right? So that's a good one. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I wanted to make the stream elements a little more opaque. How do I do that? Is it done in the... Oh, I think I can do it. Let me see. Let's see if this works. Oh, no, I can just hit the output channel on it, I think, can't I? Well, that definitely didn't do what I expected. Oh, okay. Maybe that did it. Does that make it easier to read on white background? I just noticed that the stream overlay is real hard to read when it's on a white background. Sorry for being out of mic range. Let's see. Does this work? No, that didn't do anything. I don't know what I'm changing, but I don't think that worked. I'll have to fiddle with that later. Might just turn that one off for now. It's not as easy to see. Does that not work? Oh, yeah, my overlay control button's not working. Okay, so back to the team. The main person's Binjy, we've got Fido, we've got Sifu, and these three characters need new names because they have like the temporary ones that they came with from the artist slash just like whatever defaults we called them. For example, this was Talon. Talon has a robotic arm and is like they're a cyborg, so that's Talon. So which is perfect for like naming for things like automation or API or robotic or something. So there's something good there we'll probably figure out. This guy we've been calling, the artist I think originally called the General, just because it looks like, oh, I'm just the general that, but like I think it's that role has kind of been more of like Sifu now. It's going to be like the master of the team. But we got to have like Binjy lore, right? This is important. I apologize for people that are here for like actual reverse engineering, but I get really excited by the lore. So this guy was the General, probably going to get renamed. And then Binjy, as she's named here, is obviously a terrible name. That's the point. It's a terrible name. We know we need a better name. So we've got to give her a better name. There's some great ideas. Most of the suggestions so far. So the things for this guy, in fact, here we go. This is the special treat. I think I've done this a couple times before, but on stream, occasionally I'll get good sneak peeks behind the scenes. So this is like our internal like artboard where we have all of the poses of things, including some that the artist just did wrong. So if you see something, there's like a few here that we will never release because they're not really designed for public consumption. But like I asked for a dragon fighting a ninja, and this one I was like, no, the dragon's winning. The ninja has to defeat the dragon. So that was one that got a revision. So anyway, but the team, there's like a whole bunch of team photos. So I kind of want to have like series of like releases where we name the characters and then we release them like with like announcing their name. So that's gonna be fun. Is there one? Oh, I know. This is the one I want to bring up. Yeah, I want. So this guy, the General guy here, happened to be the one shown doing like weightlifting, and of course like lifting being like Binjy's thing, right? Like we are the only tool that lifts to as many ILs as we do. It seemed like a perfect, so something like weightlifting related, but like also lifting it, like a pun on lifting. We debated just like lifter or just lift, or I don't know. We're thinking like something like that for him. We already got a great image for it, so that'd be nice for him. Yeah, Talon kind of but still out. I don't know what we would do for their name, but the female Binjy, there's been great names. We have a list of fantastic name ideas so far. So we've had let's see, you kind of got to see them though, right? So let's see. We've got, can I increase the font? Yeah, so we've got Emmy, and I apologize, Galen. We've got Melissa, or Melissa spelled that way, but pronounced Melissa. You see what we did there? It's so good. It's so good. Bonald, for like Arnold, but like Bon? I don't get it. I don't get the Bon part. So there's Ilsa. Ilsa's pretty good. I like Ilsa. She could go by that. Trace was suggested. But like we're more static analysis, so trace feels like a dynamic analysis term. Of course, Tracy is the one who suggested that, so of course she did. She also suggested Ilsa, which I like a lot. I like Melissa a lot. Galen does not like Melissa. I think Vanessa. So a lot of SSA ones are natural here for her. So Vanessa was suggested. What were the other names we had? Contessa. That was my least favorite. She reminds me of the Marvel villain. Antagonist. Villain's maybe a strong word for her. Contessa, Vanessa, Ilsa, Melissa. Those are like, these are all great. I love just calling her Melissa, but like spelling it that way. I think it's so good. Yeah, Binjy Arnold. Okay, yeah, see, thank you, Shulkermancer. I think these are, so Ilsa, I don't know why the colors are so bad there. Oh, you do like MLALSSA. Oh, great, Galen. Okay, good. Melissa. Oh, Tessa. Yeah, there's a bunch of like female names that. Tessa. And I'm always looking for like, is the first half something but like Ilsa. So Elsa is it just sounds like Elsa, which is from like, wasn't Frozen, right? But is Ilsa, is that a real name? Is our girl's name related to the German name Ilse or Else? That feels like Pledge to God. I mean, okay. Ilsa's doable. I like Ilsa. Ilsa's pretty good. Hey Ricardo, welcome. All right, so I think we're coming on the short list now of we've got front runners. I would say Melissa and Ilsa are in the lead. Ilsa. Yeah, actually, I spelled it wrong. There we go. Now it's Ilsa. Ilsa. Elsa. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think, well, Ilsa is so good because you've got the ILSSA like still in there, but it's also like a normal name. And Melissa is weird because if you just see it, I don't know, maybe that looks like Melissa. I think people might be able to figure it out. Or we could call her Mel for short. I was thinking about that too. We could just call her Mel, and people ask like, oh yeah, it's short for Melissa, MLILSSA. So I kind of like that. We could just like refer to her as Mel. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce your name, RQHZBTW, but you can absolutely get a student discount. So if people are not aware, if you go to binary.ninja/FAQ, do you have a student discount? It's right here. And it basically, you go through the product. The only difference is it will ask you, are you an international student? It will ask you if you're an international student. Just like say, yes, I'm international. It just changes how we do the verification. You have to send in like a transcript or a letter of admission or something that like shows you're currently enrolled as a full-time student. So that part's slightly different, but you absolutely qualify. You don't even have to be a high school or a college or whatever. Like if you're a full-time student of any age, you qualify for the discount. That's all it takes. So yeah, go for it. You're very welcome. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream. So yeah, okay. I like Ilsa. I like Melissa. These are definitely my top two. It sounds like they're generally good favorites. So I'm happy. But we got to be thinking about the other guys too. So more names for the other team members. would be great as well. So if you think of anything for like something good and cyborg related or data, or like I'm thinking like Star Trek data for the Talon character. I don't know. We got some time on those, but all right, one fun thing done. Oh, the other thing is if you look at Chompy's Twitter feed, I think it's Chompy1337. Yeah. She posted a blog post here along with FuzzySec that they wrote up on patch diffing some Windows kernel bugs. This continue reading thing gets me though. It's very adful. But you notice that like this is the bindiff UI here. But although why do they? Yeah, it's interesting. They use Ghidra to then run it bindiff. They could have just done Binjy because the latest thing is they actually use Binjy for the analysis. In fact, they pointed out a bug in our a driver parsing or a PDB parsing. It was something that we had a bug in. This was several weeks ago when they first reached out with the issue, and it improved the analysis a ton. They were getting much better decompilation. So that was exciting to see. It's a nice write up where they talk about the, patch diffing to go find O'Day, which is a tried and true methodology. So love seeing the Binjy screenshots, and that's a great blog post too. I need to actually finish reading it. I only read the beginning of it, and I've not done a whole lot of Windows kernel stuff, so I'm very behind on that. I gotta get caught up, but that is another bit of fun. All right. Oh, the other bit of fun is mark your calendars. A week from today, we're gonna do our Binary Ninja 3.4 release stream. So, am I in the right place? Yeah, Binary Ninja API. So if the full-time student just means you don't have a job and you're in school, whatever is considered full-time, whether if you're a high school student or if you're in college, if you are a full-time student, then you qualify for the discount. You don't have to be a computer science major or math or whatever. You can be any major as long as you're a student and you're the one getting the license. If you're working like part-time as a student and working a job part-time, that wouldn't count. But if you're going to school full-time and you have like a part-time job on the side, that's fine. You can still qualify as long as you're a full-time student. So whatever counts as full-time in your region or your university or your school. Yeah, like it's pretty flexible. Also, professors, there's a version of it for like professors, but the professors do have to do something relevant. Like it can't just be like, well, I teach hydroponics at a university and my kid wants Binjy and I wanted it. Well, first of all, your kid probably could just qualify as a student themselves, but like you can't just get it for somebody else, or you can't just like teach anything unrelated. So if you're a teacher, it only qualifies if you are teaching reverse engineering or doing research on reverse engineering. But students are, any student. If you're not an employed person, we want to make life easier on you. And so the student discount applies. And you can apply the student discount to either version. So back on the, the release, that's what I was going for. Okay, so, man, the issues have been blowing up. We have tons and tons, especially, man, Rob is filing lots of bugs. A lot of them are feature requests too. Some are bugs. So, in fact, actually, we're going to send him a package in the mail here as a thank you. So if you do file lots of great Binary Ninja bugs, don't be surprised if I reach out and ask for your mailing address to send you a nice little care package, because he's definitely going to get one. He's provided a ton of value. So I'm looking at this. Just look at these issues. And they're like these are not like lame bugs either, too. Some of them are more preferences or user interface suggestions, and some of them are like good, actual useful bugs, animated screenshots showing it, high quality stuff. So thanks to Rob for doing that. Again, you too could get some sweet Binjy swag. In fact, somebody else suggested some stickers or something that has like Team Binjy on it, like the Binjy mascot. Right now, the only stickers, I don't have stickers on me, but right now the only stickers we have are the just the Binjy logo on them, or I'm a little Binjy'd out today. Even get up my hoodie. And we don't have enough, we don't have stuff with like the actual mascot. And so we're going to put out I'm going to get a bunch of stickers at some point soon. And so if you have a particular art pose If you liked any of these, you've seen like a particular pose of the team or one of these you think would make a great sticker that you would want, let me know because I'm gonna take like 10 of these or 5 or so of these and get a whole bunch of like little stickers made for each of the team members. So yeah, exactly, Peter. Like that's the thing is they use high quality things. They're real bugs, and usually like even if they're like UI features, like we can usually, like oh yeah, that's a great idea, and then we can like bang it out really quickly. One of his other suggestions, I think I've got on my to-do list to try to finish up this weekend. I want to try to get done. That was like oh yeah, it's an obvious good thing to do, and I know where that will go in the UI. So yeah, good high quality bugs are always appreciated. Uh, yes. Yeah, RQ. Yeah, exactly. Our API is definitely one of our strengths. And the student discount makes it like, yeah, if you're 16, like I think even for if you're not college age, like literally just a student ID is all that's required for verification. I don't think we require because like the full time doesn't make sense if you're a minor. Like that's just like if you're in school and you're a minor, you are inherently full time. That's how that works. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Let me know if you have any trouble with the verification process. So thanks for all those bugs, but let's go to the milestones because Braze is our next release. If you're not familiar, we do them named after sci-fi planets or fantasy planets, and this is the next release. This will be 3.4. Ooh, it's coming out. It's coming soon. We got a lot of open bugs. However, a lot of these are already like well underway or have a lot of progress on them. Username. Oh yeah, absolutely. It covers not only different file formats but architectures too. It depends on which training you're exactly talking about, but all of the trainings have a variety of different no, yeah, training. So like if you're looking at either one of our online ones or one of those that's at a conference, um, yeah, we do both Linux and Windows. In fact, I think we've even like several of the exercises we give all three platforms. You can run it on Mac, Linux, or Windows. Actually, I think it's usually Linux and Mac because on Windows we recommend Windows subsystem for Linux just because those binaries are a little bit simpler. But we do have some of their PEs as well specifically. So absolutely, yeah, the training. In fact, I think we have more info. We've updated this page. You know what? Yeah, I think that's actually worth mentioning. We should, Galen, if you don't mind making a note to Kyle in the training channel, like specifically listing the types of architectures and binaries that we use as examples. That's a great suggestion to make to that page. Hey, Flake Craft TV. Um, okay. You're welcome. You're always welcome to ask Binary Ninja questions here. In fact, if you have a link, I think YouTube by default is going to block links. But if you email it to Galen, do you mind? Galen, you've got mod access. If you email Galen at vector35.com with that link, um, Galen can drop it into a channel for me, and I can pull the file up on stream, and we can take a look at it and look at the challenge. But yeah, always happy to look at little things, especially when I'm putting off working on a plugin, which is what we might be doing later, depending on how the rest of the stream goes, because it'll be good, but it'll be a little bit of a challenge. All right, so back to the release. The release is going to be, yeah, so here's all of the issues currently slated. Not all of these issues necessarily will make it into Braze. Some of them, if we don't make any progress, might get bumped to the next release. That's pretty typical. But basically all of the high level ones, or is it label, I think basically everything labeled high priority, impact high, and above. I believe almost all of these, and actually we can look at, we don't care if it's open or closed. We can just see these are all of the main biggest features. Oh, cool. Yeah, I can pull it up. If it's try hack me basic malware RE. Yeah, if it doesn't require a login, I can just pull it up on stream. That would be great. Basic malware RE stage 3 challenge. If I have to log in and get the file out here, Oh, there we go. Challenge 3. Okay. Oh, cool. Download task files. Do I have to be logged in? Please don't make me log in to download task files. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, if you can send the file directly, that would be easier than me trying to make a login. I don't think I have. No, I've never made a try hack me login before. I was looking at my other computer. Um, so um, if you can send that file, we'll totally pull it up. Especially because I assume like this is a free binary. Yeah, I like if it's a paid training or something, I'm not gonna out there stuff on stream, and I'm not gonna like solve the whole thing, but if I'll just look at it and see if it's a bug or something in Binjy. Um, yep, sweet. And then RQ. So commercial, the really the only difference right now. There's actually about to be, I think, some more. We're probably adding some new stuff. Is yeah, exactly, Galen. Is headless mode. So right now, like personal has the full API. You can do anything you want. You can do scripting. You know, in personal. The thing that personal can't do is this basically. You can't load binary ninja in pure Python or any other of the languages we have APIs for, and just like script it up, right? Actually, I think it's what's the new APIs? Load. There's a new one I don't use as much. I gotta get in the habit of yeah, I think it's load. So like you can just open up and it's decompiling and analyzing the entire binary, creating it there, and I can just iterate. Like print all the function names, every function it found, right? So that's the biggest difference. Yeah, and obviously commercial use, although that will not apply to you if you're 16 and you're not using it, you know, for commercial purposes. And even if you are, this is something I always like to remind people, even if you're using it for commercial purposes, if it's like I've got a YouTube channel and I play CTF challenges and I make some ad money on YouTube, or I do bug bounties occasionally. If you're making a very small amount of money using Binary Ninja, you still might not need to actually have a commercial license, because unless you're making, I describe it in the FAQ. I was search for like mini. No, where is it? What do you? I think it's under what do you consider commercial? Yeah, and the frequently asked questions we describe down here. That basically, if you make less than 5 times the cost of a Binary Ninja license, for something that's not like your full-time job, it's just like a side hustle, whatever thing. You don't even have to have commercial just as a general user. Although for you, like if you're a student, that's probably not relevant. So yeah, the main difference is the headless scripting. You can always upgrade later too. You can, well, if you do upgrade as a student discount, we do have to verify you again, because we throw away every 2 weeks. We automatically not every 2 weeks, but just after any information is 2 weeks old that we verified, it's automatically expunged, because I don't want people's student IDs and transcripts and stuff, and so that like gets purged heavily. Let me switch back over here to make sure I can see if Galen uploads that binary. I'm going to be in the stream channel, Galen, so I'll keep that up. Yeah, so this is the list of features coming out, and in 3.4. One thing you might have noticed if you use our devs, we did something a little bit different this time, and I think we're probably going to keep that going forward. You see, this is Binary Ninja 3.4 already. What we used to kind of do, like if you were on our the last release, 3.3, between 3.2 and 3.3, it was still called 3.2 right up until like the very end, and then we would change it to like the dev version to 3.3, and then we would ship the stable 3.3. But for reasons that aren't really important, it makes our lives a little bit easier to be able to do 3.4 as soon as we ship, or 4.0, wherever the next version is going to be, as soon as we ship the last stable. So the last stable was 3.3. It shipped like in January, and we changed it earlier on to be 3.4. So it is a little confusing to like, we're releasing 3.4, and if you're on dev, you're like, I'm already on 3.4. But it actually is also true. Like if you're on dev, you are already on a lot of what 3.4. So a lot of the new features on dev, like for example, components, which I'm going to turn back on because the one thing that bugged me last time is now fixed. So components is going to be out in the next stable, and Yeah, if like you want to do it to here, I'll paste his email address. Yeah, if you send the file there, he should be able to drop it into me. Um, I don't know how student ID verification would work in Germany if you don't have like a student card or like ID card or any other document, even like a driver's license or any other kind of ID that shows your age is probably sufficient because if you're a minor, you're inherently yeah, sorry, Galen, if you get more spam now because I put your actual email into chat. Here, I'll delete the message once Flightcraft has the can I delete my message? How do I delete my message? I think Galen can delete my message because I don't think I made myself a mod ironically on that account. Um so yeah, we should be able to verify you. But this is all of this plus a bunch of other things are all the like high priority stuff. Next Friday, so a week from now, we're going to be doing the 3.4 launch stream. And the way that works is our feature stream, right? So we're not launching 3.4 then. What we're saying is every of the major big features that we've identified for 3.4 must be in a demoable state. So like it's more of like a thing for how our internal awesome. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Lightcraft. Yeah, for mentioning that. I appreciate that. Proof of yeah, matriculation, yeah, would be the English for it. Yeah, your English is clearly better than my German. Um, awesome. Yeah, so you also got a German student discount. Sweet. Um, yeah, we'll figure that out. That's yeah. Usually it's not too much trouble. But so we're basically next week. I'm going to be showing off all of the major features for 3.4. They must all be demoable, so they may all not be on the dev branch. You may not be able to try them all, but they all will be in a state where I can pull them up and show them off on stream. So a bunch of major features that we're going to be showing off. We've got the new switch improvements I already showed off on stream before. The switch recovery for sparse switch statements is really good, better than IDA, better than anything else out there. The C++ type improvements. That's one we've kind of I think I teased on Twitter on that. Some people may have seen that coming mentions of it, but that should be demoable. So that's going to be really cool. We've got if you've ever done any C++, we're not solving C++ reverse engineering. It's still a hard problem, but the type system can now do some really nice things with inheritance in the base class, and we'll show off that with some demos next week. Let me check my Slack here. I want to see if there was another. Yeah, we're debating. Yeah, we've got some other cool stuff that we're debating if it'll be on stream or not. So we'll see. We may have even more than that. But we've got yeah a bunch of obviously components now have been on dev and demoable, and you could try it for a while as well too. We'll talk some more about the outlining features, this built-in mem copies you might have been seeing. This has been it not only implemented a little while ago, but like a ton of improvements this last stable. Oh, awesome, Shulkermancer. Yeah, I think I mentioned it to Sergey, but I haven't. I missed the stream unfortunately. So we'll see. I don't want to overpromise. Like I don't want to make it sound like like I said, we've solved C++, but just this is the first step. Is building the type system able to even represent some of these things, be able to have cross references from stuff. So yeah, we'll show that off next week. I'm excited to take a look at it. And again, it's just the beginning. There's gonna be more things to improve that going forward. BNB is fine. Yeah, we can actually pull Flatecraft. Just so you can pull the original file from a BNB. We always store the original file inside the BNB, so that works. If you want to, send the binary instead, you can do that. Either way. Yeah, Steven, I've seen previews from Rusty and it's looking really good, but I think some of the stuff that's still being worked on and will be worked on for the next month before the actual release. Because again, I'm doing the video next week is just going to show show off the features, and then we do, I think it's a week after that we do the actual feature freeze. A week after that we do like all commit freezes unless they're critical bugs. So it's bug fix only after the feature freeze, and uh, then we have like our internal stable testing period where we just do the extra testing that goes into a stable release, and then we'll put the release out. So it's about a month ish after the video that we actually get the release out. So get image base plus address. Oh yeah, so that's a fair question. So there's a couple ways to answer that question. So I believe bv.start is just the image base. So there's that. And by the way, I use where's my hex integers plugin? Let's turn this on. My favorite plugin, right there. So now, there we go. Now it will automatically change the display hook to show the hex value as well. So you can take like the start address. Like I could, for example, take where I currently am at, which is here in the console. There's like a little shortcut. And I could do here plus, actually no, here is already virtual. What was that? You wanted plus or minus the, oh right, if you want to subtract it, you want this as a virtual offset, right? So you do here minus bv.start, right? So this is the offset from the base address. There's also like bv. You can do bv.get segment at here, right? And then you can get the start of that address. So like whatever the current segment mapping is, like maybe you want to mask off that, and you can do, you know, that as your calculation. You can also, that's from like the API perspective, but there's actually an even better UI perspective. Like you can down here in the bottom right, make sure I'm not covering up with anything. Yeah, you can actually see, you can get like a range of bytes or just the value itself, and you can also get it as the file offset, or segment offset, or section offset, or function offset. So you can get all those right from here in a one click to copy and paste. And of course, yeah, you can definitely do all that from the UI as well. Oh, I promised my wife I would keep an eye on. She was going to text me. She did not. Okay. So yeah, so there's the features next week. Oh, there's a bunch of changes with Samako support coming in, Objective-C. That's one thing I was going to maybe do on stream, but I didn't set up enough for it. I'm curious if there's interest in it. Someone on Twitter or Slack recently asked asked about Hopper support, and not Hopper support, just Hopper's decompilation versus Binjy's. And I haven't done a comparison in a really long time, so I was thinking about doing that on stream. I like Hopper. It for a while was the best Objective-C and Swift decompilation for iOS and Mac OS, but I think these days that may or may not be true. I think the other stuff is kind of caught up on a lot of what it could do, other things can do now, but maybe worth checking out. And like I said, it's a good tool. It's a great price usually, so definitely support small independent developers. But their API isn't as good. It's not nearly as featureful. It doesn't do as much. Their architecture support and where they run their platforms and stuff aren't as breadth. So Binjy definitely will do more than Hopper can, but in terms of like career, I was a math major. I was a dual math and computer science major. I'm Jordan, by the way. Nice to meet you. And what RQHC is? How do you pronounce your handle or name or whatever you prefer to be known as? I always like to call people however they want to, you know, whatever name I can use to. RQHZ is just a mouthful. Is it RQ Hertz? I wonder what it stands for. Or it may probably something in German, so I wouldn't, which could be anything, right? German word can mean anything, almost anything. Yeah, I think we've got a lot of different backgrounds at the office. We've got PhD. Galen's got a PhD. There's people with masters. Some people with. Is there anybody with no degree? I don't think there's anybody in the office right now with 0 degrees, but I've certainly had a lot of coworkers in the past where RQHC. Perfect. All right, I'll just say RQHC. We'll keep doing it like that. Sometimes there's like pronounced versions that people prefer, where it's like sounds different than you might guess. But math, computer science, but honestly, like most of us like spent most of our careers just doing reverse engineering or vulnerability research, and now development things kind of separately from schooling. So the school was maybe less important. So yeah, good question. I like having people asking questions, so thank you for chiming in. All right, I'm looking at the stream, looking at my notes. I think I got everything that I wanted to get. Let's see what else. Where was my? I'm tempted to go back to my schedule stream just to pull up the details, but oh no, I know. I put them on Twitter. I can go there. Make sure I. Let's go look at the last tweet. What was it? Yeah, I mean, math is. I mean, a lot of people say they're bad at math, but it doesn't. Like, if you enjoy programming, you're naturally good at certain kinds of math, I feel like. And there's certain math that is like if you're doing like 3D game programming and stuff, you actually need a bunch of like types of math. Like it's actually useful to know trigonometry and vector, like that's a thing that like can actually become useful. But you know, a lot of times even if you're using a game engine, it can do some of this stuff for you. So it depends. Okay. All right, I think we got all the little stuff out of the way. About CI automation. All right, I think that's it. Cool. That was the list I want to get on. So let's talk about setting up automation. And this might be a little trickier because I got to do it between multiple machines. But what I want to do is I want to set up the ability to have the Binary Ninja sample plugin, which should be here. Sample plugin. I want to add some GitHub automation. I would like to be able to do validation that when I commit this plugin, it works. And that means it's got to work with the headless license, actually, what we were talking about, the differences between commercial and personal. I want to have, let me switch back to here, make sure I'm keeping an eye on that. Yeah, if we get that binary in soon, Flightcraft, I'll switch back to that. Yeah, so I want to have like a GitHub action that will actually build and test our plugin with, or run our plugin with a Binary Ninja build. And so I haven't actually done this before. Oh, I know, that's the other thing I was gonna do. I do have one more thing on my to-do list. I didn't mention this yet, but the Mandiant Kappa plugin. In fact, right here, there we go. You can actually see they've already did this. So part of the reason I was going to do this was to demonstrate it. They've already actually got it working. But ironically, the way that it works is I can't see their GitHub action because those are rightfully so secret unless you've got write access to the repo. I don't think you can actually view the source code for the action. Or no, maybe you did with this. You can hold on. Let's actually see. If we go to Kappa, does the .github actions show up here? Workflows. Oh, maybe we can't pull it off from here. Okay, sweet. Excellent. Actually, no, you know what? I don't have to do any of that then. Well, perfect. Then Flake TV, I do need that binary. Great. I'm gonna load your BDB up next because this actually just made the other thing I was gonna do. They've already done it. Yeah, so let's see if this one has the VN. No, it's not build, whereas scorecard tag test is probably tests. Oh yeah, here we're gonna look at the commits. It is the tests action. So GitHub actions are super cool. If you haven't used them before, they're actually really, really useful. And a little known feature of Binary Ninja is that not only is there this headless mode where I can use my commercial license, headlessly, but you can get a Binary Ninja license that is only headless. It doesn't even have the UI at all. It just has this. And that's really useful for like automation, CI, stuff like that. And so here we can actually see, here is the script, and you'll notice that, okay, this is good. I didn't actually check this yet. I'm glad they're not leaking their Binary Ninja serial. Yes, KI, yes. Kappa has Binjy as a backend in particular. So to be clear, KI, there's there's different parts of Kappa. There's the back end and the front end. They still haven't done the full UI for the front end, but that's on their roadmap now to kind of build it out. And Shusheng, who I mentioned earlier, who's the grandmaster at Chinese chess and a coworker of mine who's worked on a lot on the Binary Ninja debugger, he helped a whole bunch with this. So this was a pull request, not this action stuff, but this pull request that got merged. I think it was literally last night. Let's go look here. thought it got merged. Did it not get merged? No, I'm pretty sure it got merged. What am I looking for? I know it got merged. Hold on. Is it still open? Maybe it got reopened? No, 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 no. It's not. Yeah, headless is legit a really useful feature. And we debate a lot in terms of what the right amount of things to include in the product is. We've actually only ever removed things that were commercial only and added them to personal so far, but I think we're debating some upcoming features making them commercial only. So we're still trying to decide exactly what that might be. So I don't want to promise one way or the other yet, but and part of the reason is we'd like to have more things in commercial that are like legitimately features commercial users would use more, and hobbyists or non-commercial people wouldn't want to use. Like in a perfect world, we can do it that way. I just don't want to make it easy for somebody who's a company to buy the non-commercial and be like, oh, it's fine, we're just going to ignore the license because it does what we want, right? So like, I mean, I would hope most people don't do that, but we're trying to make it easy. Yes, Ninja, you can absolutely use a commercial license for headless TI. However, the only caveat with that is that you're only supposed to use one at a time. So like if you want your commercial license to be off doing some headless stuff, you're not supposed to also, like, in fact, technically, I'm not supposed to be running some automated script here via my headless license and also using the product here. Now, nothing stops you. Obviously, my license here is letting me do that. So, but it's not really the intention of the license. So like if you have like a job that's doing a lot of automated processing, always running, contact us and ask us about buying a headless license. A headless license actually costs less than a commercial license intentionally, so that you could just buy a headless license, put it on a server, especially if you're a business, and then you can run it, and you can use the product, you can build it, test your automation, your Python scripting, and then you can run it with a headless license while you keep using this at the same time. So that's technically the correct usage of the license. Scroll back, make sure I missed anything else. Oh, Shellcromancer, you telling me. So type libraries, I'm going to hold off on that. Sorry, I'm a little slow catching up on chat. Type libraries are in need of some TLC. It's too hard. They're too annoying to like work with right now. And so before I do them on stream, what we're going to do is internally do some rounds of like better documentation, better examples, and making the workflows a little bit smoother for doing that. That's kind of on our roadmap for, I think, maybe even Coruscant, not the next stable release, but the one after. I'm pretty sure we really wanted to kind of go do that. Oh, and back real quick on the Kappa thing, because I didn't finish the discussion. So Kappa, interestingly, as a backend, it's their previous evaluation doesn't actually use IDA, I don't think, for its automation. Where was the actions? Where am I looking? Tests. Yeah, here we go. Because there's really no way to do this kind of thing with IDA, where like they don't have the license, or batch processing in particular is a little more annoying. You can't run on a purely headless server. Like you have to have, it still kind of runs the same UI binary. You can't run it as a part of a separate process. Maybe there's a way to kind of work it in, but in general, it's a lot easier to do it with something like Binjy, where you can actually just run a standalone script that imports binary Ninja, does your analysis, and checks the results. And so that's exactly what they've done here. So I'm actually really curious, because this is cool. So they've got their tests running now through Binjy on both 3.7 and 3.11. So they're pinning a is this the version of the checkout action, and then they're configuring Python with these versions, and then they're pip. Okay, so they're using a pip install -e. Well, this is interesting. I don't know the syntax I don't know that syntax on GitHub Actions. I'll have to go look that up. I'm curious. I mean, presumably it just runs. Oh, maybe it's this branch, like the dev branch of this. I wonder exactly how that works. But so yeah, this is the cool part here, right? You can basically create a GitHub secret, and we generated them a custom free license. So this is something we want to offer for any open source project that uses Binjy. If you would like to build like some automated testing so other people can submit pull requests and can submit changes to your code, and you can have some confidence that the plugin works without having to test it yourself, like we will give you a free headless license. You can use it just for this purpose. And in fact, headless is the only license that has this ability. You can literally grab this script, this download headless script, and you can use it to download the build like on demand. So this is actually making a fresh new VM every time it kind of runs, and it's configuring the Python, downloading Binjy, getting and are they, yeah, by default it's going to use stable, I think, unless you pass in --head dev. In fact, we can actually look at this because this is in the Binjy repo. If you ever want to see the script, this is actually easier than me having to write it myself, just being able to look at theirs. So thank you, Will, for doing the work already. Sorry, I was going to get this tested earlier if you ever watch this. Scripts download headless. So again, this is meant for exactly this kind of workflow, but I think it's dev is just, yeah, so where's it? Where is dev set? I'm pretty sure it's, where's the argument parsing? There we go. Yeah, --dev. Okay, right. So it defaults to false, but if you just pass in --dev, it would run the dev version of Binary Ninja instead. Yeah, Shulkermancer, thanks for that. Sorry for YouTube just blocks links basically by default, but so all right, making sure I don't miss anything in chat. Y'all been chatting a lot, which I love to see it. Yeah, okay, so sorry, I just saw your message about vector operations, and yeah, if you're doing game modification or game cheats or any kind of that stuff, you'll naturally pick up a lot of the math. And that's why I say, like, bad at math, like, and there's a lot of different types of math. It's like saying I don't like food. Like, well, some food you probably like and some food you may not like, but I don't think anybody's really bad at all math. And especially once you like something, it turns out you'll spend the time and you'll learn it and you'll get good at it, even if it's kind of tangential to what you're actually doing. Oh, Ryan, your question about enterprise licensing. Yeah, enterprise is actually really cool. There is if your organization has an enterprise license, which supports like floating licenses, there is some examples on the API repo where you can do I'm pretty sure there's an example in here, isn't there? Or where is the example? There's an example somewhere. But anyways, this API you can do with, hold on, is it in, let me see. Let me hit one of our enterprise servers internally here real quick and look at the docs. Yeah. All right, so this is the enterprise. Let me go look. I know there's an example somewhere. I don't, or maybe it's, I don't remember if it's in the repo or not. I'll have to dig that up. Actually, Galen, can you make a note of that before I forget, if you're still watching? Or actually, I can put it into Slack real quick. All right. So yeah, I'll have to find, like, I don't know where the example could, oh, wait, no, I know what it is. It's right here. Hold on. It's literally staring me in the face. Did anyone say that yet? Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Stream delay saved me. But if I do dev-api, is this fixed? No. Man, I meant to do this. I actually ran into this recently. This is the example code. The formatting is just wrong. If you hit the source, you can see it. I forget why. I forget if it needs a new line or what is, or if this is spaces versus tabs or something silly, but this is the code. Yeah, and so you can see you can literally just do with enterprise checkout. Although I don't know how like the auth works with like SAML and SSO and that kind of stuff. That's actually a good question. But with an enterprise license, you can literally like check out a license, do some batch processing automation, and it will automatically release the license back at the end of that scripting. So yeah, that's a good question. Also, and to be clear, enterprise is not the same as commercial, right? Like a normal commercial license versus I think the purchase pays has the like the sort of differences. So enterprise is like floating licenses and has a bunch of other fancier stuff for teams of people, collaboration, that kind of stuff. All right, let me make sure I get caught up. Yes, and so KI, the Kappa, yeah, it did sound like there's some interest. I don't know whether, how much like Shusheng and Will or who, how it'll work, but we definitely would love to have Kappa have a better first class UI for Binjy, and I think um, they were hopefully they liked the API as they saw how we could integrate into the backend, and we have some advantages that IDA doesn't from a scripting perspective. So I think they're interested in kind of giving it a go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't plan to reverse any anti-cheat stuff on stream. I'm gonna keep any live reversing I do to either malware or um, uh, like CTF challenges that are no longer like under like active competitions or things like that. I try not to do anything that's potentially questionable. And yes, yeah, Shusheng did a bunch of great work on Kappa. He was up for that. I had done a little bit with it a while ago and then promptly lost all my code changes, and so he he actually went through it, which was a lot of fun. Did great. Yeah, exactly. RQ Enterprise is really just for like a team of like professional folks right now. We kind of want to have a CTF version of that. We haven't figured out that how we could do that because it's expensive. You have to set up on a server yourself, and if we run it on our server, then it's even more expensive for us because we're now maintaining infrastructure for a team. And so I don't know. We're still trying to figure out how that could work, but that's the main thing there. All right, back to see enterprise scripting. What else was I gonna do? Let's go back to Kappa. Oh yeah, let's actually go play with the Kappa stuff. So anyways, this is the script that will automatically like do all of their um uh do all of their tests, and then we'll use PyTest to test all of the um after it's made this VM so it can run scripts with Binjy. And you can see if you go back to their actions log, which is sweet, it's working, right? Because we had or is it uh oh yeah, this was the commit. That was the commit I missed there too. There's the pull request. Thank you. I saw that hash there too. Shell commencer. Um, but you'll notice that the actions themselves have the CIBN one, and they are running, right? So they're able to like use Binjy, and the Binjy backend. Actually, let's go back to that too. Let's look at those. I want to look at the code. They're using PyTest, test Binjy features. All right, so let's go look and see what the test Binjy features does. Test Binjy features. Because I think so. The test IDA features, is that one headless? How does this one work? Hard coded input file. Where are they actually? Where does it actually do the check input file? We're out of utils. But this only runs from within. Oh yeah, there it is. It's right at the top. I was like, this doesn't work. You can't run this standalone. Run the script from within IDA, right? So they don't have the ability to run this sort of like separately. That makes sense. Um, there are there is a Yara rule plugin in Binjy, and there's Hyara, which is useful for generating the plugin. So this is actually a plugin for both IDA, Cutter, and Binjy. And it will let you create a, where's the bin? Oh, come on. I need to give them a hard time. Where's the Binjy screenshots? Because I know it works in Binjy, but still not Binjy. But anyways, yeah, the GUI lets you like design and build a Yara rule in particular. So if you're interested in that. Now, if you're interested in more like pattern matching for like ROP generation or something, I don't think there's any great plugins that do that right now. Actually, I should probably check because I don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that would really be great for that right now. Kappa is kind of an interesting idea of starting to do any. It does certain types of pattern matching. It's more for like capabilities. That's the name of it, right? The idea is that it will like automatically scan for certain features of a binary, and it can work kind of headlessly, and then it can take that data you generate a database, and then you can load it up into the UI and annotate it. And Binjy can now be the backend that can do the headless automated generation where you can give it a binary. In fact, it should be way more accurate actually than any of the other backends they've got because of some other features. Like, so for example, even right now when they run on top of IDA, they don't assume you have hex arrays. They only just do their analysis on the disassembly. And IDA's disassembly, for example, doesn't do things like stack string recovery on its own. I'm pretty certain you have to have the decompiler plugin to do that. Correct. No more updates, RQ. Same as IDA, where like you just don't get any more updates, but you also have to back up your own installers because we don't have the old installers online. But yep, it'll totally work. So this is an example where there's like a built-in str copy. So right, so here is something where if I look at the disassembly for this, what was this? This is some random executable that opened up. And we can see, yeah, this is a good example, right? So this particular string was assembled on the stack as oh wait, no, where did this come from? No, that's not a stack string. Oh, was it they copied into a buffer? Yeah, so maybe that's not a great example of it. There's some of them where it's like initialized and the arguments come directly as parameters. Anyways, that all is part of this new built-in string copy analysis where it tries to detect things like, the string copy got inlined by the compiler and optimized in a couple of different ways. We will outline those. So this is part of like the outlining capability, if you hear us talk about it like that. And you can search and say, give me all the strings. In this particular case, it's actually in a data variable, right? Or where was it? Here. So this does actually have a string reference. So you could find that in the disassembly. But if it had been like something like, oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, basically something like this, right? This is exactly what I wanted. I was apparently showing this off on stream earlier. So if you want something like this, where you're moving a byte, at a time into a stack buffer, or like push a bunch of D words in a row, and you're assembling a longer string that way. What Binary Ninja will turn that into now is this mem copy thing. I just had a thing that does that for a while. Ghidra, I don't know. I know they don't do most of the outlining, but they may have some, so I'm not positive. I have to play with different examples to see what they do and don't do. But Binjy will now show it like this, and more importantly, you can get a string reference. You get the whole full string. So if you're using something like Kappa to analyze stuff, and you're doing it in IDA, you only have the disassembly. You don't get that string recovery, but you will with the automation in Binjy. So that's really useful. Yes, thank you everybody else for chiming in and helping out. I appreciate that. Yep. I love it when the community helps themselves. Makes my life easier. Um, oh, interesting. So you're using, yeah, Binary Ninja standalone. Yeah, I mean, if an additional headless, if you ever have like a batch process that's just always running, and especially don't do it. Like I hate it when people do it. Don't buy an extra license if you're just doing it for a hobby or for fun, but make your work do it. If it's work buying you a license, yeah, you should buy more. Get work to pay more money on us. That's always my stated goals. I would, I want money from the people that are making money on it. That's the goal. That said, there have been hobbyists that bought full-on commercial licenses before and were happy with it. So it definitely happens, especially because you don't have to buy per decompiler. So yeah, you can run Kappa, and it's specifically scanning, creating all of these matches. So then yeah, the part that we don't have yet is this right here, right? The UI where once you've generated these matches, you can apply them back to the decompilation of the analysis. So yeah, I kind of want to try Kappa just in case people haven't tried it before, because let's give it a go. Let's be a new user. we have been selling Binary Ninja for about 7 years, 6.5 years now. We've been working on it for maybe 8 years. Is that right? No, maybe we've been selling it for longer than that now. 7 years. It was 2014, I think, when Binary Ninja was, or maybe in 2013. Binary Ninja was originally a CTF team tool written all in Python. And when we started the company, we rewrote it entirely in C++, but we used the name and kind of some of the design things. But, so Ki, you should get somebody to like sponsor your malware analysis. It feels like I think that somebody should do like a bug bounty for malware analysis. That's kind of what Polyswarm was talking about doing for a while. So let's give Kappa a go here. Let's actually try this out. Why did you eat all my characters? Middle click. Really? Oh, that's right. I reset my machine a few weeks back. So all right, let's give it a go. And actually, I think I should have some samples. Hold on, it's giant font. Do I have some samples? If I have something with a malware hash in the name, actually, I know I'm on my other box. I have some malware samples. But let me see here. Okay. My wife just told me no rush. Our potential dinner plans aren't happening, so if only volunteers your malware analysis got sponsorships. Like, you're doing a good one for the community, right? Somebody should be sponsoring you. Maybe that's something Vector 35 should be doing. I think we're not big enough yet. Maybe one day. We'll see. We have talked about doing some level of sponsorship. Like actually, free license though, that's something I would talk about. Like if you're doing like public malware write-ups for fun and community results and stuff, and you want an extra head, yeah. So Ki, like hit me up on Discord or Slack or something. I'm not against sponsorship in that regard, like throwing you a free headless license to like make your automation easier. And then, when you get hired for a super high paying malware job, then you'll keep using Binjy and you'll get your company to buy it, right? That should be how it works. I mean, virtual obfuscations are just hard. It's been a long time since I actually had to do one. Yeah. So, Flux Fingers. Did we trade them? There was like a funny. Flux Fingers had some really nice shell code that they traded as like semi as a joke to the CTF team I played on. Way back in the day. Did we actually give them an early access copy of like the Binjy, the Python Binjy? We might have. Like it wasn't like super sensitive. There were people with it out there. But yeah. Yeah, I think for anybody who's like seriously into a hobby, I pay a lot more than probably $300 a year on all the Rubik's cubes that I buy. The personal license, and that's why it's priced that way. It's meant to be somebody who is a professional but is doing it for a hobby can afford it. But yeah, if people are interested in sponsorship requests, like I said, I'm also much more likely somebody who's already using Binjy who wants just a headless license to be able to like build some automation, a malware. Like that's a pretty easy like yes, right? Like you've already invested in the ecosystem, you already are in part of it, and you just want to make some automation better, and you're also doing it for fun. Like that's a pretty compelling case. So like I said, no promises. We'll talk, but like I think that would probably be yeah, a good one to do. So. And we also, that does remind me, we do have a sponsorship page, which we're finally getting around to like filling out. We've been doing them for a while, but we don't always list them there. Oh wait, I didn't actually merge that. So the website hasn't updated. It's me to drop down. But yeah, there's a bunch of like CTFs and open source projects and like security club type things that we've sponsored before. So if you're interested, you can. That's the official sponsorship thing. That one though doesn't say like we'll give you a free headless license if you're doing malware analysis. So just hit me up on that directly because Alex and Kelly do this stuff. So let's see about Kappa. So I need Kappa DXC, download and usage. Downloads. Oh yeah, okay. So they recommend this stable releases. What if we want to build it? Do we want to build it? Yeah, if we want to use Binjy on the back end, we do want to build it. So let's look about building. I think I have built it before, but let me see. Let's go back to that. Let's do Kappa builds. Use the Explorer plugin, Kappa rules. To use as a library integrate. That's not what I want. I want to build it. You can run standalone binaries without install. Yeah, but what if I want to build it? Yeah, that was from because that was from a few weeks ago. Oh, that was a 5.0. I didn't realize that's a big release. .NET. Ooh, speaking of things Binjy won't be great at. Not .NET. Yeah, they've been super active. That's cool. All right, so let me look. I mean, it's no. Stefan or Steve? Yeah, Stefan. I assume it says Steven. Uh, Hit me up. Yeah, let's chat more. Actually, I don't recognize Cryptolamus. I assume it's like a community group that does some malware analysis, maybe. But yeah, definitely reach out. I'm usually pretty easy to find on Discord or Slack or Twitter or a lot of places. If not, yeah, like yeah, I'm Cyphertex. PSIFERTEX or Jordan. And if I put the R in my own name, there we go. Twitter handle, DM me there. DMs are open, or Mastodon, or you can go to binary.ninja and you can say, hi, Jordan. And then I will write back. There. So that's another way to get a hold of me. As you can message me there. Lots of ways to do that. So let's get Kappa up and going. Is the doc installation? This is okay. Install it. It's a library. Yes, I would like to work with a standalone. Nope. Nope. I don't want the Linux standalone. I want. Nope. I want to build it using inspecting. I don't want to review it, but I do want to build locally because I want the latest dev. Oh yeah. So let's see. Recurse submodule. So get submodule updates -- init -- recursive. Okay. So update that. Many malware samples. That's fine. So I'll do a directory that's ignored by antivirus. No problem. No antivirus on this machine. To get only no, I want everything. Let's do it all. Oh, yeah, it's already got it. All right, install pip install -e. Oh. Okay, so because there's a setup.py. Okay, so pip install dash is it pip3, pip or pip3. That's 310. Okay, so that should be it. Pip install -e dot. Yeah, no worries, Stefan. Reach out. Appreciate it. Hey, Ethical Math, welcome. I think, yeah. Happy to hello to your coworkers if they're watching. Yeah, Binjy scripting it's a huge win. And it's definitely, I think, clearly a big a big win over literally anything else out there. We're working on getting our decompilation quality better than IDA. That's the goal. They've set the gold standard, and so we're still making some improvements. We've got a few ways we've started to get better at, but they still do great job. Ghidra has tons of architectures that they support. They're still great at that. And there's a lot of content for how to learn stuff with it, but our scripting, nah, I think we got that. That's definitely our biggest strength for sure. A lot of reasons there, from like a lot of good ecosystem around it, good examples, program analysis APIs that no other tool has, the performance of C++ core plus a real Python API. You like a Jython, current modern Python support, you can switch to your own Python really easily. Yeah, a bunch of reasons that's true. But okay, so now import Kappa. All right, so I have Kappa installed. All right, so let's keep reading our docs here and see what we're missing. So we've got it. Oh, I can literally just Kappa now once I've done that. That was it. Pip-e didn't. Oh, it's because it's local bin. That's why. So I bet it's in .local bin Kappa. Yep, there it is. Cool. So equals path home v35.local/bin. No, that's not gonna work because this Binjy was waiting on it. That's fine. We'll kill that one, and now we will try Kappa help. Yay! All right, well, that was a win. I like the. Actually, here, let's rerun Binjy. Gotta keep the Binjy up. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you earlier, Valgrind. Welcome. Yeah, good to see you again as always. Oh, Ninja. Slay support. So it won't... Yeah, it probably won't be like direct Slay support, but some sort of like Slay to lifted IL generator or something. Yeah. You could use our Binjy personal... Oh, if you're just trying to convince your coworkers or your company to buy your license, you're welcome to show it off at work, Ethical. Yeah, that's fine. Tell them I said it's fine. Yeah, sensitive work binaries, like that's fine. Feel free to like bring your personal Binjy and use it for a day. We'll divide your salary by 365, and it's probably less than 5 times the cost of a Binjy license. So we'll call that the de minimis clause. Don't that rule doesn't scale generally, but in this case, we'll allow it. Yeah, and if you have actually Ethical, in fact, related thing is something I do all the time is if there's a company that has several people and they're using different tools and they want to binge a demo and to talk about the roadmap. I mean, it's a lot of what I'm kind of doing here. So people who are regulars in the stream probably already know a lot of this stuff, but I'm happy to show off specific features, talk about improvements, where things are at. Hey, 321 Gaming, welcome. 321 Gaming, are you from my neck of the woods? And you even got an alligator as your icon. So, all right, so we've got Kappa. We should be working, and it should, let's see, how do I specify a backend? Oh, there it is. Yeah, backend, Binjy. Let's go. All right, so Python 3, import Binjy. I've got that in my pass, so it should just work. All right, so let's grab some malware. Let's do malshare. Actually, I was working on that. Awesome. Love us a Space Coast friend. You should come by and get some Binary Ninja stickers if you don't already have any. I give so many out that you might already have some, depending on who you are. But you're welcome to anybody who's ever in the area in Florida. Come visit us, and I'll give you stickers. All right, let's... I am not a robot. Oh, I didn't even check. No, we're stairs. Okay, stairs. Are those stairs? I don't see stairs. Let's call that. I think there were stairs in the other little one. Oh, that's cool. Well, one day if you want to come to visit Vector 35 Central, we're right in downtown Melbourne, right across the street from Hotel Melby. All right, so this is a Linux backdoor, the Mirai botnet. All right, so here's a piece of malware. Let's grab that. Where is my malshare login? That was the key that I burned on stream last week. All right, you know what? I'm doing this one entirely off stream. Did I even load my new key up? I don't even know if I loaded my new key. Is there another one that doesn't require? I think they all are going to require a login. Um, what's the easiest way to get this hash? Can I just copy this hash and find it somewhere else? Let's see. Just on mail share. Malshare, yeah, Malshare's the what's the other one? Malware buzz. Oops, malware bazaar. Yeah, I'm trying not to lose my serial again. I don't want to lose my tokens. Does malware bazaar? They have a login. Oh, it's via Twitter? Forgot about that. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna grab some malware samples from my other box. Let's get something from over here. That is not what I want. There's a bunch of files there. What is that? Oh, actually, you know what? In the meantime, while I'm doing this, I did see, thank you. All right, strings3.bndb. So let's go toss this in the VM. I think I should be able just to drag and drop the BNDB. Fun fact, there is a tiny bit of potentially sensitive data in a BNDB, and I'm not going to show this on stream. The file that was uploaded here for exactly that reason. But if you open a BNDB and you check, the original file name is still in the stream. So like, for example, oops, wrong. So if, for example, let me open one of my BNDBs, or I'll just make one real quick. So let's open this simple elf, and then let's save a BNDB. Actually, some of those obfuscation detection samples might be interesting. We can try some of those through Kappa as well. And now if I reopen the BNDB, where am I going? Samples. Oh, up one folder. Simple.bndb. bv.file.original file names. Just so people are aware that your username and path is stored in right now. There is a future request that'll probably it's on my to-do list where you can use this and you can purge like original file path. So we'll probably get rid of that in there. But CTF, yeah, if you're a big capture the flag. Now, capture the flag that we mean it like as in hacking capture the flag. So I'm curious, did you mean like first person shooter CTF? Malware Bazaar works with Twitter auth. Yeah. Oh yeah. And actually, I've definitely been to Groundswell and Codecraft and a lot of those places. All right. So if you have a BNDB, it will have that in there. So all I have to say, I will not be showing that on this file that I'm going to download. Where's the folder? We're going to go to our samples and let's drag in strings3.bndb. Hey, all right. Does it open? Oh, it opens a new window. That's fine. Close the old one. All right, so we have a really simple file with like some MD5 functions that look like they were automatically named, or at least there were symbols in it. This original version of Binjy this was made on was an older database. Yeah, that's it. It's not a whole lot. It's literally just the file path. So if you like temporarily wanted to work around it, like literally just, actually there is another way to even work around it too. So for example, I think we can, I'm getting distracted, but I was distracted. So if I want to share simple.bndb, this is dirty. Glenn will be mad at me for sharing this. No, file metadata. Oh, I can't even remember it. This is good. This will keep me from doing this. But there is a way to poke directly at the file metadata. database. Yeah, you can get the file metadata. So actually, it's dot database. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so there is like this database object here. Global. No. Read global. Read global. I know I'm doing terrible things. I'm doing them on stream. I think I can get file name. Oops. So if you want to, yeah, there we go. So if you want to manually fix your privacy issue, KI, you can do it this way. Oh, and right. There we go. So now if I save the BNDB and then I close it and then I reopen simple.bndb, I'll crash Binjy. Maybe there's a reason I shouldn't be doing that. I wonder if oh yeah, I did something terrible. That's amazing. Okay, so clearly I didn't save it in the right format. So there's a reason why I said that's a terrible thing to do. You should be very careful with those APIs. So don't do that. That's not, there is a variant of that though, where you'll be able to use the API to like modify that field in a safe way. Clearly that was not it. And so now I've corrupted my simple BNDB. That's hilarious. It is still fixable via the command line almost certainly, because you can directly poke stuff in the database. But anyway, all right. So back to our question. So Flake Gaming, if you are still around, let me see. Do we know what it is we were looking at here? Let me go back in chat. And also, thank you for recommending Binjy there. Appreciate it. There is no. Oh, okay. There technically is a Benji Discord. There's literally no one on it but me. I registered it as a backup in case we had to move from Slack, but right now there's just too many people in Slack. So I'm on a bunch of other Discords you can DM me on, but there is no Benji Discord. Not that anyone is in. So, all right, what were we talking about this binary? I think you said it was something with, I mean, obviously with strings, because it's in the name. And if anybody else remembers it, let me know in chat. Email should reach soon. There's where the email went. All right. Oh, the challenge name was strings 3. Right. Okay. And load string A. So there is a load string A, which is, I don't see it all on the list of, hold on, I have imports showed. Huh. So wait, why are this not showing? Yeah. Load string A. Yeah, why doesn't it show up in the symbol list? I wonder if it's because, no, I don't know why. Let me check one thing real quick. Okay, so a couple things. Let's go 3.3 stable, and let's run Binjy there. Just run an old version of it just to double check it. So let's run that. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save the file content. So this is extracting the file contents of that strings 3 sample. And now I can reopen that strings 3, and it will ask me, do you want to open the BNDB? Galen built that a while ago, which is nice if you've forgotten you already had one. But in this case, no, I do not want you to do that. I just want to load it from scratch. Aha. Okay, so I see it here. So the question is it just an issue of this BNDB, or was it with components? Because those are my first two thoughts. So let's open the BNDB again. It's component view. I thought that got fixed. Hold on. I think there's still an open bug there. Okay. Catch up on chat here. So I'm now starting to scroll back. Okay. Yeah, I think, okay, so I think if that's probably the issue there. If there's something wrong with components view, but it has show imports on. Is it because there's also a data variable? Oh no, that's weird. I wonder if there's like a data variable shadowing, but we're not showing data variables here. It shows up as a function, right? Maybe it's a type information. So loading the B here. Yeah, okay, okay. Hold on. Next thing to try is let's turn off components and restart it. So thank you for submitting this because this looks interesting. This looks like one way or the other, this is a bug of some sort. It shouldn't be. That is a components bug. Okay, so let me go back and see was there anything else that load string A. All right, load string A. Right, so I don't know if that's exactly the thing you were talking about that wasn't here. Yeah, you can, so this is an import. So this is what I expect to have it show up though, is in the resource section where the import itself is, and then you just want to find cross references to it. So if I click, on this address, we can see in start, we call load string A, and clearly this line here, it's calling it through the imports. Okay, and we've documented, this looks like you've copied and pasted like the MSDN or TechNet or something. I think there's even some plugins that do that. Onto here, but let's just look at high level layout, and what do we see here? It should just show us yeah, load string A, 0, null pointer on the instance, the buffer, and the potential flag. I mean that looks, so if the question is where does the flag come from, that's a good question, and this is interesting. So now I'm going to go back to that binary with no analysis, just for kicks, and we're just side by side. And I am on latest dev. Okay, so load string A, and here's this buffer here to initialize to 0. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so this is these two variables. This is a good example where we're gonna look at the stack view, because we can see these two variables are right next to each other on the stack, right? And so when we memset into well, no, that shouldn't matter. Find resource A's into RC. Yeah, what does set that? That's interesting. Message box A. So we've been compromised, but we're going to show the MD5 hash of nothing. All right, let me split this. Also, I forgot, I don't want to, as I said, I don't want to like totally solve this necessarily. I'm just looking to see if there's Binjy bugs in analysis. And there was that bug in the components view. So if you mean that the load string A API itself wasn't showing up in the list, that's a bug, and that's in components if you have that turned on. But it does show up if you use the old symbols view. So we'll take a look at that. But and just being an import, that's what I would expect. These resources though are, yeah, we switch over to disassembly. Yeah, so this one's weird where like it's calling MD5, but like this argument is just empty. Like there's nothing there unless that's the return, unless MD5. So this pointer, is it like a hard-coded so it's initial, yeah, you'd have to actually have, this thing would have to be called something else. Oh, the digest string right here, right. It does the MD5 initialization. This is the pointer to the MD5 object. And then the text that we're gonna do in the message box looks like just the MD5 hash. So yeah, this load string A is probably loading it from a resource, right? Yeah, so it's from the resource file. Okay, so I think I understand kind of what's going on here. The question is, let's see here. Let's go back to this. Yeah, exactly. So we can see that they load the resource. Like that's literally what the API does. The API is specifically loading into this buffer from this ID in the resource section. And so you'd actually have to parse the, where was it? The rc.rc. So yeah, there's a separate file right here that's like an RC file that's going to be loaded. And Actually, you know what? It'd be interesting. I'm curious. If we look at types, find resource A. I'm actually curious. So yeah, you could use a resource explorer, right? I think that's the intended solution, presumably, right? But I want no, I don't want you to fix my typos. That's not a typo. That's the function name. Google, thank you. So find resource A, LP type. So wait, LPC string. No, LP type is not an LPC string. It's like 6. That's not right. LP type. This looks just like straight wrong. What? Find resource A. That doesn't look right at all. Oh, it can alternatively be an identifier rather than a pointer. Okay, that's awful. So it's actually like a union because it can either be an LPC stir or it can be an ID of a given resource for standard resource types. Okay, that's awful. So you could have an enum here. It showed the resource strings. Oh, interesting. Let me get cut up here. Oh, there's already a couple plugins that will do that, by the way, RQ. So in fact, I literally tweeted at a couple people yesterday or today, recently, because somebody was asking about that. So if you go to our replies on our Twitter at Vector35, there is links to 2 plugins right here. Yep. That will basically mark up or annotate using ChatGPT. So there's 2 different ones. Dyla is not in the plugin manager because it's there's no reason it couldn't be, I think, but it's meant for Ida, Ghidra, and Binjy. I think it was all 3 of them. And it was maybe going to add Anger support. I don't know if they did, but yeah, it has Ida, Ghidra, and Binjy. Yeah, Zion works on Anger and a bunch of other stuff. Built this one, but then there's also a sort of simpler one built into Binjy. It's right in the plugin manager. If you search for GPT, you can see there's a plugin here that if you have the OpenAI APIs, you set your API token. Don't leak it on stream. I recommend not doing that. But then it'll summarize the function for you. And right now, I think it just puts it here. I don't know if it will rename variables. I don't know if it adds comments to the function. But yeah, you could totally do that. So there's several different ones. Northrop Grumman is NG, I assume. It's a big company in the area, the defense contractor. They do a lot of software stuff. Cool. So yeah, so I think that's working. Oh yeah, okay. Let's try Ghidra. Let's actually go look at this. Do I have Ghidra installed here? Dev folder, yeah. I'm lazy. Ghidra SRE. I'm gonna spell it wrong. It doesn't matter. Let's go grab Ghidra and we'll have to install Java. I wonder if it tells us what installation guide. Java, Windows, Linux. Is there just a Java default? If this just works, we go apt install default JRE. Do I need the JDK? Let's just try the default. Let's see if that works. Also, that font's way too big. All right, so that's going. We've already got the download of Ghidra done. All right, so unzip downloads Ghidra. Oh, I've already done this before? Oh, I just left. Oh, that's funny. I re-downloaded it. Whoops. No, it's dev. Let's move it. Move downloads Ghidra. Now let's give it the full name. Ghidra run. Let's see if I've got Java installed. Yeah, okay. Can I just do apt install? You can tell I don't run Ghidra on Linux server. Default JDK? Hey, that's a thing. Hey, Joe. Yes. Like, even the docs are gross looking. But they've got them. They've got a lot of docs, but they're not pretty. They're not easy in the eyes. And even like, what? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, if you notice, they use this HTML preview.github IO thing to like literally render. They could have literally just written in Markdown and it would have rendered directly in GitHub. But again, it predates GitHub, so it makes sense. All right. So now let's try it. Do we have JDK? Open JDK, Java 11. Does it have to be just a newer one? App search JDK. Open JDK. The default JDK either didn't work or I need to specify the path. Listen, I'm really happy they're not doing better with my tax dollars because it's bad enough I have to pay for my competitor. I don't want them to be really good at documentation or making pretty UIs. That would make my life way more difficult. As a citizen, yeah, I would like it to be spent effectively, but as a commercial company, oh, okay, OpenJDK 17, that'll work. If you put it in your settings, RQ, there's like if you go to into the Binjy control comma. Oh, how do you get your OpenAI key? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You I don't remember on this box. Um, yeah, I don't remember offhand. I think you just go to your profile or something and you pull it up. Apt install open JDK dash 17 dash JDK. Open JDK JDK 17. Okay. Can I remove the other one? Let's try that. Oh, and this is replacing. Does this actually remove 11 or does it not? Let's find out. This is the true open source feel right here for getting a piece of software going. Do I have to install the JRE too, or is the JDK good enough? Let's just try it. Auto remove, clean up after ourselves. All right, and now we're gonna just try it again. Hey, okay. I will not do any terrible things. I set that to the wrong window, didn't I? That's fine, I can kill this. Let's do that. Let's send this to here. Yeah, it works great with tiling window managers too, I'm sure. I can't close help. Really? How do you? I don't want your help, doc. Can you? How do I close a window? Windows. Ghidra help. How do I close this? To be fair, I need to learn my window manager better. This should be a. Now, what is, let's see. We're gonna go lift Linux. That's not right. Google, fix it for me. It did. Let's go. Except this is version 2, not Windows 6. Close. Cool. But it's super and shift question mark. That's what I already had up, right? Quit. Oh. Windows Shift Q, terminate, exit app. I don't want to exit the whole app, right? Whatever. You know what? Goodbye. All right, so Ghidra, and then you have to make a new project. Non-shared project, all the clicks. Ghidra projects. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm sure somebody's made this like not painful to just be like, can I please just open a file? And then I hit I, and then I go to samples, strings 3. Now, I look like that was an external resource file. Is it named? Is there a resource section of it? It might be. Maybe that's the exact issue, as I suspect. Oh, gosh, right. Of course. Hold on. Let me quickly go back to 4. No, 4. Way too many windows now because I don't know how to manage these. Okay, no, it added it, but now, yeah. It is i3. Yeah, okay, this is i3, but it's specifically Regolith Linux that is like prepackaged and has some nice features that I like. Because I love tiling window managers, but I don't ever want to take the time to like tweak and tune and customize. Um, Windows within Windows. Yeah, I can only imagine trying to like navigate the debugger UI. It's hard enough. We're really fighting to try like how do you design the UI and try to make it fit in one thing. So, all right. All right, right. Also, it never navigates you to the function you care about. Thanks, Idra. Okay. Wait, where did all the other functions go? Where's all the MD5 functions? What? Oh, because they're imports? I guess. Were those imports? No, they weren't. No, there's not imports. These are like, where do these go? It just doesn't want to. Cool, cool. All right, let me quit this Benji before I forget. That's the old version. Thank you. Regolith, Regolith. All right, so here's the entry points. Let's see. So this resource gets loaded. No, that's just the return code. The resource gets loaded, then load string A. It does this by this ID, which by the way, so let's actually compare the results here, because that's one thing I'm really liking about our new type libraries. Very clean. Like naming these parameters, look how nice that is, right? The fact that you can see that it's both the null value, but also it's actually H instance, and that's UID, and that's that value, and buff, like that's high level IL. In fact, even in Binjy, if I switch over to the pseudo C output, you don't get that because C doesn't do that. So one of many reasons that I'm a big oh, is that where it's putting it? Maybe because is it just doing it based on the name classes? It is. I mean, I guess, but that's kind of annoying. So like if I just want to see all the functions. Interesting. Good call though. Yeah. If they see any debug information, it's got a class hierarchy. It's gonna put it here, even if it had nothing to do with that. If I wonder if it's, I bet you could just like put colons in a name and it would do that for you, like it or not. Show this some setting, we'll turn it off. All right, so back here. So RCRC, yeah, there's just the string reference, but now, oh, you know what? So I get is the idea though that then you can pull up the resource section here. Kind of, oh man, I hate this view though. This Jenga view thing, you gotta like change the widths. This is so painful. I don't even want, oh no, I don't want to close. I just wanted to not Jenga. Is it gone? Is it gone? How do I, all right. I'm not sure when this turned into a Gidra stream. I apologize. Uh, yeah, how do I get that window back? Yeah, there you go, Flake. Welcome. We're playing with it. Um, so yeah. Okay, so Benji just inlined this, right? The digest string of that. We know that's the MD5 in it, so it's doing the string of this value here, which was a single char, but then has this buffer after. So really, this is just wrong. I don't know. Like you really should want to just. In fact, the way to fix this would be, um, make this. How big was that? I could look at it in the stack view. So like up to A3, right? A3, 4, 5. So it would be, this is actually a char array. And you can use, I think you can do math in here. So let's try it. I want to do OX 4A3 minus A, oh no, yeah. So it's just gonna be OX 400. That's not valid. Yeah, there we go. So you actually do math right in there, which is kind of cool. And it should just create the type. I was off. It is there's actually, it probably is that size, and there's probably just padding. Yeah, Glenn, I'm so sorry for your eyes. I apologize. So this is the Binjy. Now, if we look at, now we've got this array. We can see initializing the first element, and then we're mem setting. This is just like an optimized mem set. That's all this is. It just initializes the first one with, again, let's go back to just low level IL or just assembly or something sane. It just sets the first one to 0, and then the rest of them it uses mem sets, whatever. Compilers be weird. But now, if we look, we can see, yeah, we're getting the digest of that buffer. And that's also the same buffer where we're loading our string into. So it's just going to put the MD5 of the thing. So you could, in a debugger, you could just breakpoint it there. Oh, can I set? No, yeah, there is a reason, and it bugs me, Joe. The reason is that you can't shift select. If you could literally just shift select in the stack view, you could do like right now in the data view. Oh, by the way, here's all the resources. Yeah, you can see that there. If in the data view, like I can just select a bunch of bytes and be like, I can hit 1, turn them all in chars, and then asterisk can turn them into an array. And like just do that, right? And it's really nice for quickly turning something into whatever size, whatever. But the stack view doesn't support that. And it annoys me because I really want that to exist. Let me go back. Where was I? There we go. So yeah, I want to be able to just like click select and then hit asterisk or hit 1 asterisk or whatever and like do that kind of there. The RC was in the data section. Yeah, so like I said, in this case, it is, I think the answer is coming down to like Binjy just doesn't have a resource parsing thing. So if I look up at the top and we actually look at you can see the data sections and we can see the resource section here. And we would have to have like a resource viewer. So there are like separate resource viewers. Oh, it totally could, Joe. That's just us. No, it's not a Qt thing. That's just, we just haven't built the feature. Like, we just need to go through and add the code that exists elsewhere. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Muso. It's not a bad idea to use Docker. I would be curious if anybody's got like if you're familiar with like LunarVim or SpaceMax, where they like took and prettified up the distro with a bunch of useful plugins and settings. Like, do people do that with Ghidra? Is that like a thing where there's like, oh, here's the pretty one with a nicer theme, and you can just open a file directly without clicking 6 times to get through a project? Or is that, yeah, I wonder how much customization people have done, basically. All right. Let's go back over here. So, I mean, I don't see the flag here. I think you mean if you go to the RC. No, but because I have to look for disassembly again. I think I lost my view by hitting the X instead of disabling the Jenga button. So I need to do not decompile view. I need disassembly view. Where is window? There we go. Window, disassembled view. There we go. Except, what? That's not it. Yeah, building a new UI with Qt is a lot of work, and then trying to keep up and maintain it, I don't know. All right, I don't know where this goes. Window, can I reset layout? No. Can I just quit it? Is it gonna like, hold on, if I close the tool, don't save, and then if I reopen it, see if that worked. Oh, I actually pulled the flag up in Binjy accidentally. That's hilarious. Hold on, where did this open? Keidre, kill me. What are you? Okay, whatever. Oh, that's hilarious. I did, didn't I? That's so funny. I literally just scrolled to it. So yeah, basically the short summary here is that Binjy doesn't have a dedicated resource parser for PE files. There's a bunch of like just standalone resource parsing tools because usually you show like bitmaps and other things like that. That's really funny. All right, I'm not gonna pull the full thing up on screen, but I will just hit Shift A. I don't. No, it's showing too much. I don't want to spoil the CTF for people. Shift A is the hotkey, by the way, that will render a string as a wide unit, like a UTF-16 string, which is what Windows default strings are much of the time. So, that's funny. That's hilarious. Thanks, Kaya, for pointing that out. Double click. Oh, now you want to work, huh? Okay, fine. There. All right, move you over here. There we go. Okay. No, it saves my layout. I want to reset the layout. How do I do that? I don't. Okay. I'm not gonna struggle with Ghidra on stream anymore. I think that answers the question though. Yeah, this is probably just the feature is basically a resource parser, and I don't even know how to get it up now in Ghidra. I gotta find the right window. Data type. It's not a data type. Hex. I mean, I could just go there in hex, but I feel like there's not the relocation table. What view would it be? And also, why is disassembled view? Okay, because it's here. If I go here, does that? No, that is not the normal view. What's the other view that it normally does? This refreshes. You reinstalled it. All right, I don't feel so bad, ethical. Graph control flow. Oh, that's a mistake. You don't use the graph in Ghidra. That is not its strength. Wait, graph data flow. That sounds interesting. What is that? Oh, wow. Ow. My brain. That's a thing. Oof. Okay, well, this looks more interesting. Hold on, what is this? Yeah, so you could do this like with the Binjy flow graph API, and it would maybe make your eyes bleed a little less. Actually, this reminds me of like the Tonto, the slicing, the variable slicing stuff. Interesting. Although yeah, it's interesting. Control T to the symbol table window. All right, let's do this. We got an expert here. No, I don't want to say that. I just want to close this little window. Okay, there we go. Control T. Yeah, so I can, oh, there we go. So the resource string table. Okay, that would make sense. I can get, and actually I want resource string. We can go back to our thing. This is resource string 6, or is this UID here, 110? I feel like it would be 272. It's gonna be 6 right here, right? It doesn't, it's okay, because I have this decompile view, I need to get the, when do I get to green science? The factory must grow. Listing, okay, listing, thank you. Listing, that sounds good, strings 3, yes, thank you. Oh, goodness, okay. So now can I make this go over here, and then go over here? Listing. Oh yeah, there we go. There's actually oh, I see what they did. So there's a lot of flags, but you have to figure out which flag they meant. Okay, so we didn't actually release the actual flag necessarily in Binjy because there's a bunch of different ones. So we could show all these. Oh, but the way that they're stored, so it's not one giant UTF string. Interesting. This detection here in Binjy. Well, they sort of are. Yeah, so you have to actually parse the RC format out, right? This is because if you look here, like this is technically just one giant run along UTF-16 string. However, presumably in the resource format itself, which, yeah, so that is definitely something Gitter can do. It's like they can parse the resource string table out. Yep. I would have probably done like Windows Resource Viewer Linux, and I would have spelled it right. And let's see what's Resource Hacker. Oh, Resource Hacker I bet works under Wine just fine, probably. Yeah, so I'd probably use Resource Hacker. Maybe. Is it length prefixed? Except, I mean, the fact that there's like this string ID associated with it leads me to believe it's not. Because if you look, it's just straight up starting with, wait a minute, no, it is. Hold on, 32. 46 is F. So maybe it is. Yeah. So like if we actually made it, so if I actually do, what would it be? I can set the type here of a char, oh no, it's a char 16T. Hold on, what was it if I hit Shift A? W char 16, okay. So if I do like W char 16, N30, or X32. Yeah, it is, good call. Yeah, Charles, good point. Yeah, so it is just typed. So this is like the format for resource section is that there's specifically. And so the challenge is like if you just run strings and you find all these UTF-16 strings, you're gonna not know which is the right one. So you could either in a debugger or, like I said, I think it's just string 6, right? Because it literally says check the string ID, LP type. It's gonna load this. Oh no, hold on, no. That's 6 is not it. It's not 6, isn't it? It's this UID here. Load string A is gonna load from a resource probably. So let's, and that was where your thing actually had the documentation for load string A. LP string, the buffer uint. Yeah. So what does this uint come from? The identifier of the string to be loaded. It's so helpful. Like the identifier of what for. So you probably have to, yeah, RC format. And yeah, you could do this with a plugin. In fact, you could even use a data renderer that you could apply to the resource section. But I think part of the reason that we held off, Galen, is that we were like at one point we're like, oh, we want to build a resource viewer that would like inline show images because that would be doable with Qt. But yeah, so we didn't actually do that. But yeah, so this here though, I don't think this is just saying load the entire RC thing itself, I assume. And then once you've loaded the RC, there's like a string ID. So that in the resources itself, there's a 110. So Gitter does parse the strings, but you still have to figure out like which one is the right one. Or you're lazy and you cheat and you submit them all one at a time, depending on the CTF. So that'd be another way to do it. Yeah, and except, man, juggling these windows, all the pain. Okay. Wait, why? I don't understand why. Oh. No. Okay, here it is. Yeah, there is a resource string ID. Right, so you have to parse out the resource string ID. What was I said it was 272? All right, now I'm real close to giving the actual answer away, so I'm going to stop. But I think that should be it. Yeah, like so I would have, yeah, I can see why that would have been more work if you were just using Binjy, because I would like Binjy's not supporting the resource specifically. I would have actually just used Resource Hacker. I wouldn't have thought to check it in Gitter personally. I would have used Resource Hacker, and you literally just could have pulled up the string list and been like, oh, please to be finding where string with ID 110 is, or ID 272. Jake, you never lose access. You can always run the software. You can have access to the last version, or sorry, not access. You can keep, the software won't stop working. You get a year of updates. If you renew, you can get more updates. If you don't renew, you can still use the software you had, but back up your installers. We do not have old installers online, so as long as you back up your software, you can run it forever, as far as we're concerned. Yeah. Wait, Ghidra shows it in the assembled view? No. No, it does not. I'm doing it wrong then. Oh, no, you're right. Wait, what? All right. It literally just looking at it and Ghidra solves it. Well, that's awkward. How do they the load string at can oh that's actually impressive. Like that's a okay, resource viewing I was not super impressed at as a feature. That's actually nice. But then why is it not sorry for spoiling the challenge. Um MLIL. I mean MLIL I don't think it's going to show it any different, right? It's this load string A. It's the fact that load string A in Ghidra can just straight up like reference the. But look, why wouldn't you show the decompilation? Because it. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. It's putting no. Put it before I see. Yeah, Ghidra knows that it's putting it there. I guess yeah. How would you show the return address of that gets loaded in there? But it just feels like that's such good information that they only show in disassembly. That's hilarious. The decompilation doesn't show that at all. Like even as a comment, which is interesting. Yeah, I guess the answer is that the decompilation doesn't have any concept of like annotations, right? I guess that technically the subroutine like no return stuff they show that way, but they don't like these other annotations and types and things. They just assume it's going to get shown in decompilation and it doesn't there. Okay, so that's actually nice though. I really like that they're able to load string A from a resource ID and pull it out. So that's a straight up feature Binjy should have. I agree. And actually parsing the resource just to get like string references stuff out probably is not even that hard. Is it a base pointers thing? No, I don't. I think you actually need parsing of the resource section. Maybe? I don't know. That's a good one to discuss with the team. That's a cool one. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. And actually, just for kicks, I'm gonna look here at the rest of it because, like I said, actually I preferred Binjy's decompilation with like the naming of the pointers. It also inlines the MD5 instead of a separate temporary medium level, new temporary variable. So I think in general, I like Binjy's and showing things like you type MB icon exclamation, right? No, you get OX30, right? So we do way better job with the types in general. But that one feature definitely makes this whole challenge harder, not having that that resource pulled out. See, I don't think it is, Glenn. That's the thing is I think it's actually well, actually here, let's find out. The particular strings I've already spoiled it is resources are popular. Okay, so yeah, because these are not okay. Actually, I think I can do .rsrc plus ox110. No, right? Yeah, exactly. There's actually like a format to the resource section, and you actually have to parse some header, like there's some structure here that we don't parse. Actually, just the binary view should be able to parse these out. And I bet there's like type because I so like yeah, like resource hacker is the main let's pull this. I want to look at resource hacker because that's a much better. Am I gonna get infected with something by doing this? Is this actually an installer? Can I just run this in Wine? Let's see if this works. All right, last thing here. Oh, okay, just a couple of dependencies, no big deal. That's fine. We're downloading our. Yeah, I want to see if resource. Wait, that was a 3 megabyte download that took that long. All right. Where did my mouse go? Unzip resource hacker. Wow, that's a pet peeve. Really? All right, wait, do I have two sample folders? I hope there's not. Did it over MX? Okay, no, it's just their samples. All right, move samples into resource hacker. All right. Yeah, Mizu, that binary came from, let's see if I can find, I think it was the try hack me basic malware already. It was challenge 3. Aw, awesome, Flake. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, that's just straight up, a lack of a feature. So, and that's again, I say like Geeter has like lots of stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of little like things that it does, and some of them are just straight features that Binjy doesn't have. Some of them are things Binjy doesn't want to have. It's a little cluttered in there, but wait, hold on. I bet if can I hit Control W? Why would closing the help? Is it closing the whole window? I don't understand. I just love that I can't literally close that window. Wait, hold on. Can I do it down? Trying like every modifier click. No, I don't even know how to like. I should be able to from the window not focus it but exit it. I don't know which plugin Regolith is using for that, but yeah, I think the answer here is so you need one is you want to parse the resource into like structures that would be more readable, which the binary view parser could 100% do. The PE parser could definitely create these into blobs that would be decoded and show all the strings. That would be nice, but that's separate from identifying how load library A. Yeah, I'm actually really curious how this works right here. Because I think you're kind of right. It does seem like it almost has to like emulate the function or at least identify. I want to know how that works. That's cool. Charles, it's less about having the attention of the masses and more about having decades of experience extra. It's been around a lot longer, more than anything. Honestly, like it's not like a huge number of features have come in via PRs from the community since its public release. It's just been around a lot longer and had a bigger budget over the years. It's just older. But that's pretty cool. I definitely like that. I would very much like to do better on that one. Although it still kills me that there's no way to like render it here. Like if you're gonna go all the trouble of building this cool feature, and then it's hidden in the decompilation, that's a bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer. All right. Well, I think that's wrapping up the stream now. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I had a great time. I am glad that I didn't just have to go work on the CI integration because they've already done that. So thanks to Will Ballantyne at Mandiant Flare team for doing that, and for Shusheng for working with them. Oh, I didn't actually run it. That's right. I was going to run a sample. I have it working, and then I didn't run it. I can use it with the Binjy backend. I think my samples obfuscated. Just going to check here. There's one of these malware. Whatever. We'll do it. Oh, FinSpy. Hold on. Was one of these a PE file? It's Emotet. There we go. Okay, so let's do Kappa back, Kappa help, Kappa -B, Binjy, Emotet. So let's try it. Pays to be a cyber weapon. All right, so this is using the Binjy backend on Kappa, live on stream. And we should get like I think it outputs, does it output to just the screen? All right, hold on, let's do this. Little triage view, obfuscated files. It's got some cryptography. It's got some extra encoding. Runtime leaking, cool. Yeah, I mean, it works, and it's using Binjy to do its all actual analysis. Does it save a report in a file or anything? I think I have to give it, you can write the output or change your own rules. Yeah, emit JSON. So I could do -j and create the JSON, and then I could feed that into the UI and IDA or whatever. But awesome. Yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out. Had a good time. Like I said, next week should be very exciting. We're gonna have lots of cool stuff. We might even have a like I said, some sneak peek at some really cool stuff. But even if it's just the regular 3.4 release features, you're in for a treat. A lot of cool things, and yeah, look forward to hanging out. We'll catch you all next week. See you.